So if you've got a Harley, you know what it's like to be able to ride down the road with a comfortable place to put your foot, and it doesn't really come on the stock bike. Well, Ciro, for many years now, for 10 years actually, has had the frame-mounted adjustable peg mount kits, and they work extremely well on the 14 and up Harleys, of course. So this year, it's 2024 now as I'm making this, and we have our 2024 Street Glide here, and they didn't fit exactly. So we made some changes to it, and now we have a beautiful, perfect fitment for the 2024 Street Glide and Road Glide for the frame-mounted highway peg. So here's the hardware kit that comes with the assembly here, and you're going to have two 3/8 16 by 1 3/8 inch, and these are going to go into the frame, and of course you're going to have a washer and a lock washer with that. These two washers are to go with the reused bolt I'll show you here in a minute. And then you're going to have 4 of these right here, which are 3/8 24 by 1 1/8, and then you have two 3/8 24 by 3/4. Now, in your instructions, you can refer to this diagram. This shows where each one of these bolts go, because sometimes it can be confusing when you have a pile of bolts. So this shows you what they are. This shows you where they go, and we're going to get right to that next. So getting this thing all set up and put on the bike is pretty easy. The right and the left side are just opposite of each other, but the same basic procedure. First thing you want to do is we're going to remove the factory front floorboard mount here to replace it with this casting mount. Now these are right and left, so you want to make sure as you're looking at it that the second hole right here is pointing back and down. And if it's pointing back and down, then you have the left side here, and then the other side, the right side, of course, will be the opposite of it. So with that, let's remove the bolts and remove the factory part. So there's 2 bolts here. This one, some motorcycles don't have this bottom one. I'm not sure why, but they don't. But anyway, this one did. So we're going to remove that, and we're not going to reuse this one. We have a new bolt for this, but we do reuse this one. So set that aside, because we are going to reuse it. So I just like to loosen that up just a little bit, and then we're going to take this bolt out right here. Just the front mount. And you want to set that aside too, because we're going to reuse this. Just like that, that's going to be reused. We're also going to loosen this back one. We're not going to remove it, just loosen it up to give you a little bit of wiggle room when you get the new mount on there. There you go, just a little bit loose. Now I'll finish taking this bolt out here. And like I said before, we're going to reuse this one, so set that aside. And your floorboard will just sit like that. Look at the difference between these parts. Here's your factory piece. It's just a stamped steel piece welded to a tube, basically. And this is a steel casting with teeth in here. This is a lot more robust, and it's going to make a more comfortable ride and isolate more vibration. So let's get this mounted up. So we're going to start out with reusing the original bolt with one of the washers from the kit, as shown in that diagram. We're going to put that right down here. And I'm just going to loosely get it started so it hangs there. It makes life a little bit easier. And then we're going to twist that up so we can get the lined up here. There you go. And then I'm just going to put this one back in to hold the floorboard together. Just like so. Again, just finger tight right now. We'll go back and tighten everything up in a minute. And then next we're going to take this chrome bolt here and our washer and lock washer. And we're going to put that in the secondary hole down here and tighten these up. All right. And these all have torque specs, and we'll put those up for you too, but for this demonstration, I'm not going to worry about torquing them on. But now let's get this piece ready, and we're going to do the sub-assembly to mount this on the table so you can see how that goes together first. All right, let's do a little sub-assembling here just to make things easier to pop on the bike. Now you're going to have two arms, and whether it's the regular arm or the extended arm, they're the same, right and left. What you want to do is you want to know what the top and the bottom is to figure out which one's the bottom. There's a little key here that's a stop, and that's the bottom. And then this is the top, of course. And then you'll have the clevis. These are right and left, and you can tell right from left by whichever one is the screw is on the top hole, like that. This is the right side, and if the screw is on the top hole on the other side, of course, it'd be on the left side. So as you put them together, you want to put the top part here up against here, and you're going to use the supplied fastener with lock washer here and screw that in. Now I'm just going to get this tight enough so it isn't wiggling around, but not super tight, because we want to adjust it once we get it on the bike. And next we're going to take this bolt here, and that's going to go right through this hole and then right onto the bike. So let me slide the table out of the way and we'll get this assembled on the bike. With our bolt and washer in place, you want to make sure, again, you see the little key here, that's the stop, and there's a little space right there when you want to make sure that that lines up, and then tighten this in. And again, we're just going to make this just tight enough so it's not wiggling around, so that we can put a peg on it and adjust. About like that. Now let's get a peg on here. For this particular bike, we're going to put on our new chicane footrest. This is a peg adapter that we have here that comes with it. This is the 1/2 inch style, just like the Harley ones. If you have a Harley peg, it'll fit too. And then we, of course, have our D washer that'll keep it nice and tight in there. So we're going to put that in. I like to put the D washer on the bottom side, flat side in. And then we're going to slide this in. This should take a little bit of pressure and pushing, and then we're going to put our bolt in here, one of these guys. We'll tighten that up. Nice, works perfect. Now, as you can see, I've got everything else here loose. I'm going to grab this guy here. We're going to loosen this up a little bit, because now we want to adjust it. So this is where you can, of course, do it by yourself, but if you have a partner or someone that can help, it's a nice time to be able to take these, because you can adjust these on the fly. So this comes all the way down, goes all the way up. This can rotate around. The peg can also rotate, so we're going to get that aimed up just about like there and see if we can get a fun, comfortable spot for us. About like that looks good, so we're going to tighten that down. And this side. Make sure that you're in the threads, wiggle it as you're doing it there, because they are splined. You want to make sure that you have the splines locked. And then finally, right here, as you can tell, you can rotate this anywhere you need to as well. We're going to put that a little bit more angled, like that brake pedal. Perfect. Now with that, we'll just go around and recheck all of our tightness. All right, last bolt. So as you can see, pretty simple installation, just normal tools, anyone can do it. The left side is just like putting on the right side, it's just exactly the same. So you just do that on the opposite side. Now the best thing to do is take the bike out for a ride. Go out and ride 20, 30 miles on it, and bring a couple of wrenches with you, because you can adjust as you're going down. Stop, maybe adjust a little bit this way, a little bit that way. Get it exactly where you want it, because there's so much adjustability here, here, and here. You can really dial it in for what you want. So I always recommend people take it for a ride and adjust. So for more information on these, like if you want chrome or you want black, go to Ciro3D.com, or even better yet, go to your local dealer and ask for the frame-mounted adjustable highway peg mount kits from Ciro. I'm Ken, appreciate you watching.